first use of the lunar rover, the first deep space walk by L. Wharton, the heaviest payload in lunar orbit at 107,000 pounds, and the longest crewed lunar mission of 295 hours. Apollo 15 achieved all of its objectives and accumulated a wealth of scientific information.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Watch Mission. So today we're just going to do a quick comparison. I know we've seen a lot about the Omega Speedmaster just because of the whole Swatch deal, but I wanted to grab a real Speedmaster here and kind of compare it to something other than the Swatch, which obviously is going to be the Bulova. The Bulova really kind of matches one for one as far as looks and story to the Omega, as far as I'm concerned. It is going to be a bigger watch, and by the way, these are sent to me by viewers, so thank you both, Jeff and Jay, who sent these in. So real quick, sizing, you're definitely going to see a little bit of a difference here. The Bulova is 45, and the Omega is going to be a 42. All around, the Bulova is going to be I always pronounce it wrong. Everyone's going to yell at me in the comments, but just bear with me here. But yeah, the Bulova is going to be bigger all the way around than the Omega. I'll have to measure I actually have not measured the thickness yet, but so you got a 45 versus a 42. But other things that do make a little bit of a difference here are going to be the crown, which is just about at 8 for the Bulova, and I think we're like 6.5. Yeah, about 6.5 for the Omega. Lug to lug, I mean, this watch seems like it's pretty big. Yeah, 52 lug to lug, and this is probably like 47. Yep, around 47, 48, somewhere right around there. The interesting thing though is the dial to me. So the dial, and I know this isn't exact, but the dial, I got about 31, 32 here, and I think it is almost exactly the same here, 31. So as far as the dial is concerned, you've got about the same. So the difference is here you've got the internal tachymeter, and here you have it as external. I do prefer having it internal just because the ones that I've already had external, this will end up scratching or wearing down a little bit. But this is much more of a classic look. As far as the pushers are concerned, the Bulova has really cool pushers, and they really do feel really good too. I mean, it's just it's a great, very responsive feeling back and forth. The Bulova's got really cool pushers. That's pretty unique. I've not necessarily seen anything quite like that, and it doesn't necessarily deter from the smoothness of the case, so I like this style quite a bit better personally. Again, I know this is much more of a classic look, but that is going to be kind of your typical chronograph, regardless of what brand you go for. So it's just kind of nice to see something a little bit different here. Obviously, the biggest difference here is going to be that this is a mechanical, this is a mechanical automatic, and this is going to be a quartz. But as far as quartz are concerned, it is a very high level quartz. It's about 8 times more accurate than the regular quartz at the 262 kilohertz movement. So it's somewhere around 10 to 15 seconds per year as far as accuracy is concerned. So, as far as accuracy, the Bulova is going to do better. There's going to be no question about that. All right, so and that has a crystal that just bevels out there a little bit. It's really nice looking the way that they did that. Sorry, I'm not in focus there. So that glass does stick out there a little bit. It's a little risky, but I do like it, right? I do like that just deadpan flat crystal. It looks really nice there. So with that, I'll kind of try to measure both. So we're at 13, oops, 13.7, and then the Omega, about 13.7. So, I'm actually pretty impressed there. I thought the Omega was going to be quite a bit. So the cool thing about these is they both have a great story to them as well. So, the Moon Watch, the Omega, that's was Apollo 13. And yeah, so there it says, the first watch on the moon, which is kind of cool. And then the Bulova was Apollo 15. And I really, shame on me for not knowing this, but the one thing that really caught my eye when I received this, and I just never paid attention to the dates before, but this one is specific to August 2nd, 1971, which is my birthday. So this is the one that I'm going to lean towards in a very biased way, towards liking a little bit better. And it's strictly just for that kind of sentimental reason. And I'm usually not sentimental, but that did kind of take me back a little bit. So I've said in a lot of videos before that, I really do like watches that have something to talk about, whether it's the unique design, where it comes from, the history, whatever it's going to be. So for me, just the fact that it's got my birth year on there, I think is going to be enough for me to go ahead and pull the trigger on one. I just don't know if I would get the typical one here, the black and white kind of monochrome, which I probably will. But they also have kind of a commemorative edition as well, which is in more of a titanium and gold. Not always my style, but also is a little bit more specific to the date, which, I kind of appreciate that. It's double the price, so it's $9.95 versus the original, which is around $600, I believe. Yeah, anywhere from $550 to $650, $700. But as I was looking at this, the one thing I did kind of have to do a double take on when it came down to the features here, it says calendar. A date window is not a calendar, so I just kind of found that a little weird and funny that they would put calendar on there. But I'll go ahead and put these on my wrist so you can kind of see the difference. Today I'm wearing a Unimatic, so this is an Italian watch. Just got that one, so I will review this one very soon. Absolutely love this one. I've been dying to get my hands on a Unimatic. So just love the overall look and the Italian design to it. So that does fit really well on my wrist. The size of the dial, kind of being a 31, really takes away from it being a 42. I like to stick to 40s if I can, but this one to me fits really well. I like it quite a bit. It's pretty slim for all the mechanics that are in there. I think they've done I'll get a little better light on it. I think they've done a really awesome job as far as fit and finish. Of course, it's Omega, so you wouldn't expect anything different, really. So that is, and it's got a very nice deployment clasp as well that is signed. Absolutely nothing cheap or skimped on that one whatsoever. So at 45, and yeah, I know I've got a small wrist, but still, it lays, and this is, I didn't want to mess with the bracelet, but it lays pretty flat. It does have a little bit of a gap right there at the end lugs, but all told, I have worn it quite a few times, and it's very comfortable. The bracelet itself is just, it articulates quite a bit, and it's very, very comfortable. And I am a big fan of the way they did that crystal. I don't know what it is about that, but I really like it. I think that's pretty cool. All right, guys, it was just a quick comparison. I didn't really want to go into too many of the specs. You can find those, pretty much all over the internet, especially since the Moon Watch, came out. But just wanted to put these side by side and, give the Omega something a little bit different to compare itself to than something that's cheap and plastic. I think the Bulova is an incredible alternative to that if you can't drop between $3,000 and $6,000 depending on if you buy used or new. You know, at $500, $600, definitely a good buy. Even though this is a 45, I'm probably going to go ahead and pick one up, as I said, because of the date significance there. But tell me what you think in the comments, as well as any other, you know, historical significant watches that you'd like me to go ahead and try to get or compare. Thank you.